Good morning, Museum School 25. Today we gather on our front lawn to commemorate a day that the United States had a very horrible situation happen. We continue each year to have gatherings where we can approach and honor that day so that the lives that were taken can be remembered and that we can celebrate the first responders that every day put their lives in danger to support community, to save lives, and they do that without hesitation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We shall never forget, let the world always remember, that fateful day in September, and the one who answered the duty's call shall be remembered by us all.
Thank you. As we gather in our ceremony today, we look around us and have students surrounding us that in many cases had not even been born. So it is our duty as adults to take this day to explain stories to them that have them understand what took place and the importance of why it is so important that we have a nation that gives us freedoms. Freedoms that allow us to speak, freedoms that allow us to have gatherings, freedoms that allow you an opportunity to worship in your own ways. Today, I will share one untold story of 9/11. On September 11th, New Yorkers demonstrated extraordinary courage, and they risked their lives to save the lives of others. One of these heroes was Welles Crowther. He is known as the man with the red bandana. Welles grew up in New York City and attended Boston College and played football as their first string quarterback. He spent his days afterwards working in the South Tower. On 9/11, when hijacked Flight 175 hit the World Trade South Tower, people on the 78th floor huddled in what was called a sky lobby. And you can imagine, our school main tower is 3 floors. Imagine 78 floors up in the air. And they were on a level where they had an entire lobby where it was made of glass, and you could see all of New York City. Well, that day, when the plane hit the tower, they found themselves huddling together, frightened about what was happening, and confused about what to do next. There was no escape, and most of them felt as though they were taking their last moments. But then a door opened to the sky lobby, and a young man came into the lobby wearing a red bandana covering his nose and face, because the smoke of the stairwell where he was emerging from was so thick that it was difficult to breathe. So he used a red bandana to cover his face and filter the air that he was breathing. He came in and said with a calm voice, "You will be okay. Just follow me." he led that group of individuals down a staircase 78 floors down to the base of the tower. And he led them there through darkness of smoke. And when he got to the lobby, he told them to keep going, get as far away from the location as possible. Wellis did not go with that group. He turned around and went back into the tower and went back up to the 78th floor to make sure that he had not left anybody behind. He then traveled down to the next floor and guided a second group 76 stories, leading them down the very same staircase, talking to them in a very calm voice, letting them know that he was going to get them out. And again, they hit the very bottom floor and exited the lobby. And he told them, keep going, keep going. Most of them expected that they would follow Wellis and his red bandana away from the building. You can tell that they were shocked when he turned around and went back into the building a third time. When he went back into the building the third time, he was attempting to bring a third group out when that tower fell. As we tell this story, sirens from some of our first responders here in Yonkers. Let's wave to them. Every day, our brave firefighters in Yonkers put their lives on the line to save the lives of others. And even on 9/11, many of our firefighters in Yonkers went down as first responders to try to help uncover those who were still alive. Willis's mother found out that her son was in the World Trade Center. And she desperately reached out to him for hours. And shortly after, the reporters of New York City were interviewing individuals who had escaped. And one woman was telling of her hero. Judy Ween spoke of a man in a red bandana that brought her group down, just to find out that he turned around back in to try to save another. At that moment, Willis's mother knew for a fact that that red bandana was her son. When interviewed, she is noted as saying that people can live 100 years and not have the same level of compassion and wherewithal that her son Willis had. So today, as we gather on our front lawn and have our flag behind us, we're reminded of that day. We're reminded of the heroes that we have in our own lives. And today, as we close our ceremony, I ask for you to think of those heroes, think of those first responders, the nurses that support our children every day.